Father, we thank you so very much for this day we're able to come to school and miss a class. We thank you for this university that thou hast provided for us that we can come and to learn and to grow. We thank you for our teachers and for the opportunity we have to learn. We ask that as we continue to learn that we will be open-minded, that we will work hard for the outcome that we desire. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you for being so flexible. We just found out a few minutes ago that we had been bumped to this room because we were over capacity in the other room. So sit back and relax. I would love for you, obviously, to be closer than farther away. I'm not going to ask you to move today. But kudos to those of you who are willing to come down. Your probably most likely to be the ones that will be called on for interview question of the week, because I'm just probably going to choose someone from right up here. Yeah.
Are we in the search now for the time?
Yes, we are. Okay, so recruiting events that are coming up tonight. Bain is going to be here. What's really nice is they've got a second one that you can attend. It starts at 7 o'clock tonight. They're a consulting firm. Several of our classmates are attending the BCG info session. They asked me about it. That's just fine. You'll be able to listen to these and watch them on as a YouTube link, I believe is what we decided, off of Learning Suite. I do want to mention one thing about consulting firms. I think that Jacob Martin did a fantastic job of selling the life of a consultant. And I was a consultant when I first graduated with my MBA, and I really did enjoy it. I will tell you that I met with the gentleman from BCG today. He said we are looking for ACT scores of 33 and above. We're looking for GPAs of 3.8 and above. Now, if you have a lower ACT score than that, you can retake it. At this point, I know it seems sort of strange to be taking the ACT while you're in college, but that is an option for you. When I talked to someone about Bain yesterday, they said our cutoff is 30, although we will look at someone with a 29, but they'll spend most of their interview trying to justify why they got a 29. So I just wanted to explain that to you so that you're realistic about sort of what your options are vis-a-vis what you've accomplished thus far. But I don't want to discourage you in any way. I want to encourage you to take the ACT again if that is something you're interested in and you're not doing this one. So we've got Goldman Sachs coming. The tech industry, many of you have indicated to me that you're really excited about the tech industry, so that might be of interest to you. And I don't need to read this off the slide. It'll be on Learning Suite. So the assignment, we talked about having a resume and a cover letter on the bridge. Many of you don't know how to work the bridge yet, so that's why we're having the meeting today and why the assignment isn't until the 15th. A lot of you still need to have your resumes reviewed. Is that right? Raise your hand if you still need to have it. So pretty much everyone. So Kenzie, John, and I are doing the very best that we can to meet with you. We also really would encourage you to reach out to the club leadership. They really are anxious to get to know you and to help you out. So you should have all that information. Did you want to add something? Go on.
I know many of you have sent me your resume and I probably have not gotten back to you. The reason why is I would like to meet with everyone that I can with your resume. So those of you that have heard back from me or haven't set up a time with me, please do so, because it is a lot easier to give feedback in person so we can ask you questions and what kind of industry you want to go into, so we can go ahead and set your resume towards corporate finance, investment banking, or whatever kind of job you want. So please go ahead and do that. I understand that it's going to put a lot of pressure on us, but I'm making myself available on Friday for all resumes. So if you choose to do that, please email me today and we'll schedule a time.
Okay, okay, so because the resumes are taking a little bit longer, I think, than we had anticipated, we're going to have the cover letter due on the 17th instead, okay? So we can talk more about that later.
Question?
Yes.
Can we do it through just you guys, or like going to the career center, something that was a couple years ago, as far as getting a resume looked at?
So in terms of getting your resume looked at, you'll want to reach out to, Sean, where are you? Yeah, is it bin320ta@gmail? So if you write bin320 @gmail.com, then just ask them if you can set up a time for that. So that's talking about meeting with the TAs, okay?
Okay.
Once you've met with the TAs, then you can meet with Kim and me. And if you're interested in financial services, you want to meet with Kim, and if you're interested in corporate finance, you want to meet with Kim. But you just need to get it approved for this. You just need to get it approved by the TAs. Okay. Sorry about that delay. Okay, so you guys want to do interview question of the week? Okay. So I need 2 students. I need 1 student who's a corporate finance student. If you think you want to go into corporate finance, I want you to, maybe I want to put you on the spot. Yeah, okay. So I need anyone that wants to represent corporate finance, raise your hand if you want to do interview question of the week. Seriously? Okay, good. Come on up. All right, who wants to go for financial services? Any hands at all? Okay, well, we'll do 2 corporate finance tonight. Do you want to come on up? Okay. Okay, so this is the interview question of the week, and they will be winning. One of them will be winning. Have you guys seen these rechargeable, these power sources? So if your phone dies and you don't have a place to pick it up, you can pick it up to this. It's awesome. Okay? All right.
I was kind of let down.
So who wants to go first?
Hoping for like an iPod or something.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, so you say that you're interested in corporate finance. I want you to pick an industry specifically that you're interested in, both. Okay? Do you have it in mind? All right. Tell me why you chose that industry.
I chose the healthcare industry because.
Oh, speak in the
Oh, okay. I chose the healthcare industry because I have a twin brother, and he got really, really sick, and he was on his deathbed for a couple of months, and I was always interested in finance, but as talking to my dad and talking to the doctors and talking, I got to know the CEO of the hospital really well about how the money works when it comes to patient care. I developed a real passion for it, because not just because of the personal level with me, with my twin brother, but just how I was able to see from the CEO how much it's important not just to make a profit in a hospital, but to be able to give quality, good care to all its patients. And that's not just like the medical treatment, but also information, because patients tend to freak out and family members tend to freak out if they don't have adequate information. And so that's why I chose healthcare, because I want to try to be a part of that and try to help provide that kind of healthcare.
Great. Thanks. Tell me your name.
John McKay.
I'm Jared Brado. I chose the tech industry because I was raised in a household where my dad worked at his own, he owned his own computer repair business. I've always loved technology. I love the ways that it can change the world, its potential to do so. And I really feel that my skill set is well suited to help that industry because of my internship and how interested I am in technology. I had the opportunity this summer to work at a small company analyzing big data and doing some statistical work. And I really feel that would be helpful for tech companies, such as Cisco, where they analyze a lot of data, and really like to help them with that.
All right, so Jacob, right? Jacob. Jared. And
John.
John. Okay, well, I like how Jim said, let's pretend like we're in 2nd grade. Close your eyes, head down. Okay, so John in healthcare, raise your hand. Okay, put your hands down. Jared in tech, raise your hand. Okay. All right. It was again really close, but John, I think you got our heartstrings, and so thank you. So these first two interview questions that we posed have been pretty easy. They're going to get a little bit more intense, but we really want you to participate. Tonight is really hard to get participants, so I might have to sweeten the pie a little. So we'll want to definitely do it the next time. Well, I'm really excited about our topic tonight because the grid has so much good data on it that you're going to want to access, and you're going to want to have recruiters have access to you. And we use the grid for this purpose. So we've invited Reed Rabe. He is the Director of Information Systems Placement. He's been doing this for quite some time, and he knows all about placement. So he's another good resource for you if you can't get him or me. And maybe has a moment of time, probably not. But he's here tonight to talk to you about the bridge. He's been sort of our specialist in our office, and we're really thrilled to have him. We also have with us today Robert Day, who is also become a specialist on the bridge, and he's going to help us better understand how to use it. So thank you so much, Reed, for being here.
Okay. Good. Okay, there's maybe 2 or 3 in here who know what that means, all right? Those sorts of things. I was the professor of military science here on campus. I've had a 25-year military career, and that light is going to be a problem.
Can you just turn it off?
You maybe can turn it off from down there.
So after I finished a 25-year military career and I was the professor of military science here on campus, and that only means that I helped line you up to pull the lanyard on the cannon in the football stadium. Probably that's what it means the most of you. Came over here, I have an MBA out of Syracuse, and picked up this role, this opportunity to be a placement director. Like Tina and Kim, so on. We collaborate, talk about all the different things that are going on. So e-recruiting was the tool. Now the bridge is the tool. It's powered by a company called Simplicity. We've actually bought out e-recruiting. So there's many different reasons for doing this, but ultimately employers need to know 3 things to hire you. The first thing they need to know is that you're competent. And the only way they'll live to know that, 60% of the equation is from your resume. There has to be a place where your resume can be found, where the employers themselves can take a good hard look at it, and that sort of thing. And so the bridge is one of those communication tools that gets used to make that happen. That's 60% of the equation. The second thing that they need to know is that you're a good cultural fit for their organization. So everybody says, well, that's why they do interviews. And in truth, it is. The other equatable piece to this is, do they like you? Are you a likable person? So, you and I can be the best of friends. We can hang out. We can go to a football game together. We can do all kinds of things. But one day you might turn to me and say, so, do you think there's room for me in your organization? Do you think your boss and we should get along? And, it's a whole lot of fun hanging out into the game and those sorts of deals. But do you think? And my view of that is I'm going to sit back and say, you're confident, you know what's going on, but I'm afraid my boss would probably eat you for lunch. When you go in for those interviews, they're looking at the fact that you already have 60% of the equation because they've already seen your resume. There's a reason why they invited you there. It's those other two components, this cultural fit. Do you really belong here? You chose the healthcare industry, you chose the tech industry, you chose whatever else. You really belong on our team. You really buy into what we're doing. And you get along with everybody. Will you spit on our clients? Will you care about just yourself, or will you care about what's going on around you? And then the likability thing, and quite honestly, I've had people come in, tell me they hit it off with the recruiter. They said they're going to get moved on to the next step, the next phase of this entire process. And then they come back and say, I just got that dreaded note, that email that said they passed on me. And yeah, you can fall in love with people, and you can also fall out of love with people. And so you have to know that the competition is keen, and it's all three elements. You may think you've got it all together, you pick the right career path, you've got the right lineup, but you may lose on the likability piece, and everything goes with it. So the bridge helps you serve up your resume. The bridge also gives us an idea by your profile, everything else, who you are, and what you do. It helps us sell you, in the sense of the word, to everybody that comes here, all the different employers that go on. So one of the things we talked about was trying to gamify the bridge to a certain extent, making power users. I don't know if you brought Mario users or not. Okay, but we were talking about having little Marios run around and get you pounded on the head, let you grow in power, all those fun things. But the idea behind this is strictly that there are certain things that you need to do to make the bridge really work for you. You can make the bridge work for you, then the employers will find you. And that's the real key. You want them to find you. So presentation is talking about how to become a power user. Turn it over to Robert. If I have to add color commentary, I will. But I doubt it. After that's over, John's going to get up. And we're just going to say, are there questions you might have that we didn't cover? He's going to catalog those questions. You get to see me back on Monday. I'm going to take you through LinkedIn, how to prepare and put your presence out there, and how to serve it up, and how to do searches on LinkedIn. So you get this opportunity. So anyway, he's going to take you through the bridge, get the questions, just bring some of those back on Monday if we can't answer them, and then we'll carry on.
Thank you, Reed. There's a reason why his name's like 4 times bigger than mine. He's a lot wiser and experienced. I'm just a college kid. So, but no, those are great words of advice. Just by raise of hands, like how many of you guys did internships last year? Okay, fair amount. And how many are planning on doing them this next year? Good, that's good. I know that with finance especially, like those internships really lead to full-time offers. And so that's the reason why I want to show you what the bridge is today, and then how to prepare yourself for those internships. So right here you'll see this is a document that's actually uploaded to the bridge. So each of you have access to this. This is what we call the Power User Form. So the different tasks on the left-hand side are what we'll be walking through today, but essentially this is how you can maximize the system. The bridge is a smart system. It's a lot like Amazon.com. So the more you play around in the system, the better results that it's going to render for you. And that'll be specific to the industry you want to be in, or the locations that you want to work geographically, or the companies or the employers. So the more and more that you play around in the system, the more it will help you out. So I'm going to walk through these today, and I'm also going to show you step by step on the bridge. So I should pull that up first. If all of you want to go to bridge.byu.edu, then you can get straight to the bridge site. Oh, right. Oh, it's not a real site? Probably attracts brides from BYU. All right, so you'll click on right here, the student and alumni login. Since I'm going through as a manager, I'll go through this side. So I'm going to just kind of make this while I pull up a fake profile that we can view. So if each of you is logged into your own account, then you should be redirected to the home page. And on that home page tab, I'll show you what it looks like here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is the homepage tab for the bridge. So this is where your platform, your dashboard will be. You'll see on the left-hand side here, as soon as you start applying for jobs or favoriting companies, favoriting employers, all of those tabs will pop up here in hyperlinks that will take you straight to those areas. But this news feed is going to be one of the best areas. This is where you can find jobs that match your profile and match what you've been doing in the system. You'll also see that there's reminders from the system. They can either come from Tina, from people in our office at the Business Career Center, from TAs like John, and then you'll have notifications here as well about companies that are coming to campus that you are interested in. So I'll show you how each of these will actually be put onto your home page here in the future. So another important thing to note here, there's more announcements down here. These could be coming from either Tina, from us at the BCC, or from the TAs. And then on the right-hand side here, this is the main part I wanted to highlight. Over here, you can see how complete your profile is. And then there's other hyperlinks to, for example, how to schedule an appointment with Kim or with Tina, or how to apply for upcoming events like the career fairs or information sessions. So each of these steps are part of becoming a power user, and we're going to walk through each of these today. So the first step in becoming a power user, from this little layout here, says that you complete your personal, academic, and talent search profiles. So back on the bridge, you'll see up here there's a tab called My Profile. You want to go ahead and click on that. And for a lot of you, this might be the first page that comes up when you log in. The reason for that is because we want you students to be as connected to employers as you can be. And so to do that, we ask you to maximize your profile with all of the skills that you have, the industries that you're interested in, the clubs you're associated with, different geographical preferences that you, like areas you want to work. And then on the employer side, we ask them to fill out those exact same criteria so that we can match those two together to provide you with better search results. And so because of that, you actually won't be able to search for any jobs or info sessions or really operate on the bridge until you've completed your profile 100%. So you can pretty much check off the first step to becoming a power user by simply filling out your profile. You'll notice here under the personal profile, there's a little bar here. It's a little amber color. I don't know if you can see that. But that actually tells you what % of your personal profile is already completed. You'll see over here on the academic side that it's green, it's already 100% completed for this test contact, our little penguin buddy. So I'm just going to drill down further into this though and show you what it looks like. So if I click on edit under personal profile, you'll see here that your BYU ID, your name, your email, everything is already input here. And that is, it comes straight from the registrar's office. When you are signed up for classes and a full-time student or even part-time student at BYU, you automatically have access to the bridge. So there's no setting up an account. All you have to do is log in with your ID and password, and then this information is automatically pulled from the registrar's office ID. So some things that you may not see are a picture or these alternate emails, or down here, your employment status. Are you currently seeking for full-time employment? And that includes internships. Are you seeking for part-time employment, or are you just moving on to grad school, so maybe you're not pushing at all? So, but you can fill out this profile 100%. Then let me move on, and I'll show you the academic profile. So yeah, this is the notice that you'll receive if you are ever redirected to this page. But the academic profile is a lot like your personal one, except for it drills down a lot deeper into what are your preferences. This is a way for you to communicate to the relationship managers in our office, so to Tina and to Kim. It's a way for you to tell them, where do I want to work, and in what kind of job in finance do I want to work? Is it iBanking? Is it asset management? Is it corporate finance? Is it real estate? You can declare all of those right here on your academic profile. So if you do have minors, you can add those. You'll notice your cumulative GPA is pulled from the registrar's office. As a side note, that actually is not viewable to employers. So don't worry if it's like 1.9. I don't think any of you would have that low because you're in the finance program. But don't, so that actually is not visible to employers. So yeah, question?
So it says you aren't complete until you've done everything, including your minors. What if you don't have a minor? I didn't see a,
Yeah, if you don't have a minor, that's okay. You can skip it, and you should be able to use the system if the rest of your profile is filled out.
Okay, because it says it's like 80 or 90% complete.
Yeah, the bar may not say 100%, but you can still access everything else in the system. So down here you'll see these are the clubs for this little penguin guy that we have. He's part of the Humanities Arabic Club. I didn't even get to have one, but that's cool. And part of the Global Citizens for Study Abroad. There you go. So you can define here that you're part of the iBanking Club, part of CFC, part of the Finance Society, the AIS, whatever clubs you're associated with, you can declare those here. This skills area is what you'll also want to define. If you have valuation skills or financial modeling or Bloomberg terminal skills or skills with VBA or Excel or whatever it may be, you can add all of those here in the skills dropdown. The skills dropdown also has languages, so if you speak alternate languages, then you can add those. And then this industry, and the geographic preference, this is what both Tina and Kim can pull from, and they can then see, okay, what percentage of our students are looking for a job in this industry and this location? And they can go out and target companies in those areas to help you guys find jobs, where you want to work, with the companies you want to work with. So that's a little bit about the academic profile. If you continue on, it'll ask you your privacy settings. It'll say, do you want to receive emails? And I would probably put yes to that because that's how you'll learn about info sessions and job opportunities that have been posted to the website. So there's also an employment tab as part of your profile. This employment tab will actually be a place where you can record any internships that you had or any full-time offers that you've received. So you'll see here that this one was a BYU internship. If I click on edit, it'll show you the fields that you can fill out. So whether it's non-campus internship or not, you can declare that here. You can also tell about the job title, when you started, where you had your internship at, for example, if you got paid. And there's also a new feature that we're going to be launching shortly that will be kind of like a student forum where you can write notes about the company culture and about your internship experience, about some of the jobs you were put on, about the pay, about the hours, about really anything in your employment experience. And other students can then go and search that database to find, so say for example, you had an internship with Goldman Sachs last summer, and you wrote all about it, and some other student wants to, intern or work at Goldman full time. They can go through and read those comments and get a feel for what the interview process is like, or what the culture's like there. So that we're going to be launching probably in the near future. So this talent search is another part of your profile. So the talent search, also called One Stop, is actually a public jobs board. So the system that we use, the Bridge, is powered by a company called Simplicity. And Simplicity obviously we're not their only school. And so other schools around the nation are using Simplicity, or I guess their version of the Bridge, at their universities. And sometimes employers don't want to post jobs that are specific to a certain university, but they want it to be all-encompassing to students across the nation. So as you fill out a one-stop profile here, your information from your one-stop profile will then go to that national archive, and then employers can reach out to you personally if they feel that you're a good fit, or if they want to bring you in for an interview. And so they can have access to that profile there, and you can have access to jobs that are not only specific to BYU students, but that are posted for everyone. So this is a great feature to fill out as well. So that is how to fill out your profile. So it's pretty self-explanatory, really. But there are some great values and benefits from completing 100%. Like I said, we'll be able to match you up with companies and with job opportunities that fit exactly what you're looking for. So are there any questions about this profile section? No? Okay. So part 2, or I guess step number 2 in becoming a power user, is to upload your documents. So in order to do that, you just come to the Documents tab here. And under the Documents here, you can do Add New. And this is where you get to add any documents that are, concern career or recruiting activities. So you can choose here from a resume, a cover letter. So it sounds like Tina has you guys doing an assignment where you'll have to upload those. So this will be the place you do that. So if you want credit, you might want to make that. You can also add your transcripts, writing samples. This other documents is cool because, like, if you have a stop pitch valuation, for example, or some case competition, you can upload those.
Yeah, I don't know if you can specify it too.
And then you can actually submit those to the employer.
So the whole idea of the cover letter is to be specific.
Well. So
That's the entire purpose.
this is the place where you find all the documents. You'll notice this is a little
I do like a
opt-in
general
resume
file.
book. So
Yes, but even if
there
it's
is
not
a
cover
resume
letter,
book. As
cover
soon as
letter
you
is
publish
tying
your
yourself
resume
in column.
onto the Bridge,
No way that
as
doesn't
part
say
of
that.
having a Bridge account, you're automatically opted in to being a part of a university-wide resume book. Now, employers, because they can't view any of your personal profile, they need some window into the students here at BYU. And so what they have access to is the resume books. So that's going to be your area to reach out to employers and say, look, this is who I am, bring me in for an interview. So you'll want to be opted into those. And then employers can go through and search, whether it's by keywords in your resume, or they can search those resume books to find students that they feel apply to their jobs. Reed, did you want to add anything else about the resume books there?
I think just to reiterate,
I came-
everything
you
you
had-
put on the Bridge is yours personally. The only time it leaves the Bridge is when you push a button that says publish this, or push the button that says apply for a job. So everything just stays there. It's yours. Everything is there. It helps us, Tina, Kim, the rest of us that are there, go out and actually court employers and bring them here on campus, because we're able to tell them what all your talents are and everything else that you have. But every time we arrive on site, an employer says, I want their resumes. So when you publish, post your resume, it goes, they can go to this site, look through that resume book, again, by keyword. So if you say you have a skill, and we can use Bloomberg, and you say you've got it on your profile, but you don't write it on your resume, it's not going to be searchable in the sense that an employer may be able to pull up something that says, oh, Bloomberg, but when they pull your resume up, they don't see a match. So you got to think this through a little bit, because this resume book is their window to you. It is their option to look at you. That talent search profile is the same thing. Put the information in there, and they can get to that. It's just a little small thumbnail. Everything else is just kept private, and it's yours until you publish it.
Okay, thank you, yeah. So, yeah, like Reed was mentioning, the resume books are going to be a great asset for you to be a part of. So you'll want to upload an exceptional resume and add that as part of the book. So, and like I said, that's by default. It'll be opted in. You can opt out. Once you've uploaded the document, it will actually say off to the side right here, it'll say this is your default resume. Do you want to opt out? So you can put the little red X there if you want. Any questions about how that works? Uploading documents. Yeah.
So on just the documents page where it says resume, and it says that you can add it to career portfolio.
Yeah.
So if it's not added on career portfolio, then none of the employers can see it.
Well, it'll still be added to the resume books, and so whatever employers come on campus to recruit, they automatically have access to the resume books, so they can still search those. But if you're talking about employers that maybe don't come, that are nationwide employers, yeah, they won't have access to viewing that stuff. So yeah, you'll want to add that to your talent search profile as well, to that portfolio. Okay, one of the next steps in becoming a power user is to connect your Bridge account to your LinkedIn account. Like Reed had mentioned, is that we have a very narrow window that employers can look into to see who you are on the Bridge. I mean, really all they can see is your name, maybe an email address if you apply to their job, and your resume. And so if you want to add additional information or let them see more about you, you can actually connect your LinkedIn profile to your Bridge account. So I think the best way to do that is if you come to the Home tab here, you'll notice up in the top right-hand corner, there's this little LinkedIn icon. If you click here, it'll bring up this little window and it says, oh, is this you? And I'll say, well, if I was logged into LinkedIn as my fake student, it would say, is this you and do you want to connect? You say yes, allow access, you'll click connect, and then your accounts will be linked. You can also add a little icon, a little button next to your name that will allow employers, when you submit your resume, allow employers to click that and to go straight to your profile and view a little bit more about either your work experience or some of your skills or what your goals are in your career path. So that's a great way to add a little bit more visibility into who you are and what kind of candidate you are for the firm by just clicking on the any questions about how that works? Okay, cool. So the next step in becoming a power user is you'll want to favorite at least 10 companies. So let me describe what that kind of is. So if you come up here to the top, you'll see there's this Employers tab. If you drill down to the Employer Directory, you'll actually notice that it brings up all the different companies that are on the Bridge. So there are hundreds and hundreds of companies that are on the Bridge. In fact, it says 5,555. How I got that exact. So the cool thing about this is that you can actually favorite companies that you want to work for specifically. So if I'm a finance student and I want to go into asset management, I know that the GSAM and JP Morgan Asset Management are incredibly great firms with a great background and history of asset management. And I really want to land a job with either one of those firms. So what you can do is you can search for those. In fact, let's take Goldman, for example. can search for the company here in the keyword. You'll see here Goldman Sachs & Co. right here. You can actually just click on the star next to the company, and that automatically makes it one of your favorites. So for me personally, I actually am interested in financial services. And so I have like Citi, UBS, Goldman, JP Morgan, Blackstone, like a bunch of different firms that I favorited. And one of the best parts about favoriting these companies is that you then personalize the announcements that come onto your homepage. So you'll see here under the notifications that anything related to your favorite companies, so I just barely favorited Goldman, right? Anything related to those companies will appear here so that you can know exactly what they're posting, what the new jobs are, when are they coming. It looks like they're coming for the career fairs. It looks like 1-800 contacts is coming for the career fairs too. And this will show you all their info sessions, all the jobs they have posted, any career fairs they're coming for. And so you'll really want to favorite some of those companies so that you can drill down and focus on the ones that you're most interested in working with. So as part of that, under the Employers tab, you'll notice that there's actually a contact directory as well. So if you click on that, you'll have the exact same opportunity to favorite contacts inside of a company. So say, for example, who's this? Angela's at Oceanside Unified School District. So say I know Angela personally. She's been like one of my mentors. And we've really been working well together, and I have a great connection with her. And I want to see whenever she comes on campus or whatever jobs that she posts, I want to be in the know. You can just favorite her just like you do with a company, and those notifications will come up on that homepage, right, when you log in. So it's a great way to stay in contact with what's happening. I know that Tina will make efforts to like put up like how she did today. She had a slide that said these are the companies that are coming this week. But this is a great way for you to be proactive about it and to be more specialized to like what you specifically are interested in. So, any questions about how to favorite companies, favorite contacts? You can actually favorite jobs as well. No questions? Cool. So, let me go to the next part of becoming a power user in the system is to create a saved search that runs weekly. So one of the best saved searches that you can run every week is a job search. So under the Jobs tab, click on Jobs. It'll take you to the Jobs homepage. You'll see, like I favorited this job. So this is the jobs page. This is where you can search for any and all job postings. And then from here, you can apply for jobs as well. And that's part of becoming a power user, is to apply for jobs. So you can make a specific search for things that, if you want to narrow these down, instead of having jobs that are related to like chemical engineering and elementary education, if you want to narrow these down to specifically finance jobs, what you can do is go here to the advanced search, and then you'll have all of these fields that you can filter by. So you can filter by the skills that they're looking for. You can filter by whether it's an internship or whether it's a full-time job, whether, what job function is, what industry are they a part of, by the majors. So you might set this to finance. Even if you have a favorite employer, so you only want to do a job search for all the new jobs that JP Morgan posts, you can select that here as well. Or you can have that desired date range. So if you want to do all the jobs that have been posted in 1 week, then you'll have to pick like this Wednesday to next Wednesday. So this is a great way for you to create an advanced search. And then when you've completed this, after you hit search, if you come to the top here, you'll notice there's the Save Search button. So once you've done your advanced search, you can actually just save it, and you can title it, say, like finance jobs. And you can actually mail those jobs to yourself every day, every week, every month. and you can only include like the new results you don't get in past jobs that you've already seen. So you can set this up on your own to have that advanced search that you run every day or every week to stay, up to date with what's happening on campus. So, any questions about how that works? Okay. If not, then I'm going to move to the next step of becoming a power user, which is how to apply for the job. So say you are interested in this Apple Finance internship. You can click on apply here, and it will take you to the job description page. You'll actually notice that the different criteria are here. So if you don't fit the criteria that the job is asking for, you'll notice up here that it will say, like for example, mine's a fake account, so it says your account has been blocked from participating in this recruiting process. But you'll have a different note. So say your GPA was like a, what did it do? So say your GPA was like a 2.99. When you come to this page, under the application status, it will actually say you do not qualify for this position based off of the GPA, or it will tell you why you don't qualify for this position. So it'll also have additional directions to applying for jobs. So you'll notice back on like one of the Goldman Sachs jobs, they usually do both apply online and apply through the bridge. So those directions would also be here. So you'll see there's a two-step process. You have to apply on GoldmanSachs.com and apply on the bridge. And so the directions to how to apply to any position are right here. Similarly, when you are signing up for interviews, this same page appears and it will have different time slots that you can select and you're invited to interview. And then you can select a time slot and hit OK. So that's how applying for a job. And I think the benefit there is pretty self-explanatory. You have to apply in order to get the job. So, any questions about how that works? I want to talk about just two more things. Yeah, so one is information sessions. So as part of the new rollout of the bridge, there's actually a new process with on-campus recruiting as well. So students are now required to RSVP to any information sessions that they attend. So the way that that happens is you'll go to events right here at the top, and you'll click on the info sessions. This is a way you can run a similar search to the job search, to the company search. So you'll look for, say for example, if you wanted more options, any info sessions that are targeting finance students. So it looks like Boeing is having one. Right here you'll notice it says RSVP function, well it's been blocked since my mistake. But you'll notice there will be a RSVP button right here that you'll have to click on, and you'll have to add your name to that RSVP list in order to get into the info session. Now there will be people from the Business Career Center that have an iPad at the info session at the front door, and they will sign you in as you come through the door. So whether you have your student ID, you can swipe your card on the iPad, and it will automatically sign you into the info session. Or you can just type in your student ID number, and you'll be signed into the session. So you'll want to make sure that you're checking the information sessions regularly, and that you RSVP before you go. And the purpose for that is really twofold. One is so that we can track and see, how much are you doing to find a job? Are you just going through the motions, and then when April comes, you come to Tina and say, hey, I need a job? Or have you been invested? Have you gone to multiple info sessions? Have you applied for multiple jobs? All of that can be tracked in the system, and we can run reports on that. The second fold of that, the reasoning behind it, is because when employers come, a lot of times they'll bring promotional gift items, or they'll have food accompanying their info sessions. And so we want to give them a heads up of how many students to plan for as far as food or promotional gifts. Yeah, a lot of the info sessions or like little booths that you've seen on campus this week haven't had the iPads, but we should be implementing that by either next week or the week after. So you'll want to make sure that you RSVP. Did I see another hand? Yeah.
Yeah, so if we RSVP, do they see that we was there in closed session?
So they'll have an attendance record of whose names, like who came into the closed sessions. And I believe that we can set it up so that your email address also appears, so they can email you as well.
So if we've already gone to a few, is there any way that they can still get our information?
Yeah, you can come and visit us up in the Business Career Center, and we can like retro add you to the closed session. Any other questions about RSVPing to events? Oh yeah, great.
Is there a cap on how many people can RSVP in the closed session? Or may not prepare someone to say the time when they're trying to go to say,
Yeah. Some companies will cap. Most of those are looking for MBA students though. From the undergrad side, I've seen most of them are just open to all. So if you do forget to RSVP and you want to come and like walk in, there you can still sign up right there as you swipe your card, but you'll be asked to kind of not engage in the food or the promotional gift items. So, just as a courtesy to the employers. So if you want to food, you got to sign up online. Okay, so that's how to RSVP for events. The last part that I want to show you, these are what we call like appendages, or this is your superstar power, your Mario, punching the blocks. This is like the firepower plus flying power plus everything combined. So this is going above and beyond the mark, but there are additional features in the bridge that you can take advantage of that will help you prepare for interviews. So those resources can be found right here under the resource tab. And the one that I want to focus on as a major point is this mock interviews tab. So if you click on mock interviews tab, it'll bring this up. So there are actually mock interviews that have been created with over 10,000 different questions with different industries, different job functions. Some are behavioral questions, some are specific to, say, like finance, for example. But this is a great place for you to go and get extra experience in mock interviews before you sit down in front of a big firm. So you'll notice here, if you scroll down under like business, there's like some accounting ones, there's a few finance ones, and in fact, Tina and the TAs can actually set these up themselves, like make a personalized ones to send out to the whole class. But for an example, if you wanted to take the Finance 1 or mock interview, you just click here on the Record New Attempt. That will actually open up your webcam. So you'll need to be on a computer that has access to a webcam. Smartphones do work, so you can pull up the same tab on your smartphone and record yourself. So what will happen is a screen will appear. It'll be a split screen where you see yourself, and then on the left-hand side you'll see the interviewer. And so an interviewer will appear, will ask you the question. You have 30 seconds to prepare an answer, and then the camera will start recording. I believe you have up to 3 minutes to record your answer, and then it will be stored, and then it'll move on to the next question. So each interview has a different amount of questions. I think some have like 5, some have 15 questions. But it's a great way for you to practice. And one of the awesome benefits of this is that after you've performed your mock interview, you can choose to send it to yourself, to your mom and dad, to your roommate, to Tina, to the TAs, and they can actually provide feedback and give you a 5-star or a rating out of 5 stars about how well you performed on your interview. And right there they can give feedback about, oh, that was a great answer, but you said a ton, or that was a great answer, but your body language, your posture was really just slumpy. And so they can actually help you to become better at your interviews before you sit down in front of a big firm. So, yeah.
So those ones you want to dress up.
Yeah, you can do that. Suit and tie. The interviewer will have a suit and tie, and so yeah, you'll probably
Suit and tie and a white shirt. Not the white
Senior government. Yeah, I would treat it as a real interview, and then you can pass those along for feedback, and it's a great resource to take advantage of. One of the comments that we heard in our office was that students really aren't doing enough mock interviews before actual interviews. that was coming from employers. So go ahead and take note of that.
These are pre-recorded, these are only live people.
No, they're pre-recorded. So you can do the same one over and over again if you want to like practice up. So like I said, some will be like finite.
Like, you know, I'm just doing an algorithm where they just take 7,000 questions or whatever from like online and just have them change every time. You have the choice.
So it's a great tool to take advantage of. Like I said, John and Tina can actually create these for themselves as well. So it'll be a recording of them asking the question and then you answering. So
It's like I
that will
get
give them
there's tons of questions. I mean, like hundreds.
So those are pretty much the resources within the Bridge. Any questions that you guys have about the functionality, about the different benefits? Yeah.
Can we get a sheet of that, what it takes to be a power user?
Yeah, in fact, that's a perfect point to make. Right here under this resources, you'll see there's a documents library. This is where all of the documents are going to be held. So right here, a student power user, that is the sheet that we were pulling from. But you'll also notice that there's this student user guidebook. Now, I won't say who, but somebody spent a really long time this summer putting this together. It might have been me. But this will teach you like literally everything you need to know about the Bridge. If you have any questions about how do I apply, how do I find this, it's all right there with hyperlinks, with screenshots. It's really great. That's just my little marketing piece. But you'll also see that like Tina will upload different documents here. So like interview tips, or you might have like a resume format, a template format that you could be uploaded here. So she will actually be notifying you when she posts those, whether it be through announcements or through this class. And so then you can hop on here and view, interview tips or questions about a specific company. So all of those documents will just be right here on the documents library. So, good question, thank you. Anything else? Yeah.
So you said that if anybody comes to our meeting, they can see the resume book. So if they aren't coming here, do we need to apply for the job as well?
Yeah, you'll still need to apply for the jobs. It's just that if they want to go outside and like just contact you directly, they can do that. So, for example, this last summer, like Northwestern Mutual found my resume through the resume book and said, hey, we want to hire you. And I said,
Okay, so if you do want me to see something, definitely.
yeah. Okay, awesome. The Bridge is an exceptional tool, like I said. Oh, this is cool. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come and visit with us up at the Business Career Center on the 4th floor. We'll talk with John or with Tina. We want to help you out with any of the questions that you have. So, thank you.
All right, I think Robert did an amazing job, and because of that, he's going to get the other powers.
Thank you.
Let's get another round. Okay, a couple things that Robert talked about that I think are really important. Keywords in your resume. If you want someone to know that you are a whiz on Excel, please put that on your resume. Anything that you think is important to an employer, make sure it's on your resume, because that's how we've been all searching, is just through keywords. So just, if you, I don't know, like if you have an interest in Dallas, I mean, if you have spent any time in Dallas at all, and you maybe think that might be a keyword that they'll search on, get it on there somehow. You did an internship there, you grew up there, somehow just make sure that anything that's important to you, that defines you, is a keyword on your resume. The second thing is the mock interviews, you might want to start kind of playing with that now, because that is going to be an assignment.